Question: what camera should I buy? Answer: I'm still working on a long and detailed review of this, and no, it's not just another stabilizer thing. In the meantime, more than any other question I get asked, what camera should I buy? First, a disclaimer. This is not a video showing Sony versus Canon versus whatever, Prime versus Zoom versus Cinema, my camera is better than yours type of video. This is simply a reminder. When you've watched 300 hours of camera reviews, 1,400 website reviews, asked 150 people what the best camera is, when you get the compulsion to go out and spend your savings on that next great camera to make your videos better, when you're sitting at that add to cart button wondering how much trouble you're going to be in if you click, stop. Take a deep breath, step away from the ledge, and ask yourself this question. Can I shoot good footage with the camera I've got? If the answer is no, then the camera you've got is broken, you don't know how to use it, or you're missing the basics of filmmaking. I've tested this over and over and over again. I've given novice filmmakers some of the best cameras money can buy and experienced filmmakers an iPhone. The experienced filmmakers win every time. When I talk about experience, I'm not talking about the number of years spent shooting. I'm talking about the basics. The person knows how to frame a shot. They know how to use available light. They know how to pull people off walls. They know how to add interesting background elements to a shot. They know how to set the white balance, aperture, and ISO, and do so as easily as walking. They don't think about it. They know to take a story and shoot with the show it, don't say it rule. They know to get B-roll. They shoot with the story in mind for the audience who will be watching. They understand the difference between close-ups, medium shots, long shots, how and why they are used. They come up with solutions and go shoot rather than figuring out what gear they should buy, can't afford, and don't know how to use anyway. They know the camera won't shoot well in low light, so they use lots of light and know how to make it dark if needed. They do all this because they understand the basics of filmmaking, not because they use really expensive gear. The point I am making is this. Really learn the basics of filmmaking. Take the gear you have and learn how to get every inch of awesome you can out of it. That's done by studying the basics of filmmaking and going out and practicing these until you can do this with the camera you've got in your hands. You don't fumble around with the buttons, forget how to set the aperture, or forget to get focus. That knowledge can be learned quite easily. The thing standing in your way is doing it over and over and over until you don't have to think about it. The pro looks at a scene, assesses the situation, sets the camera properly, and starts shooting. The unpracticed person spends 15 minutes fumbling with buttons, finding the right ISO aperture, and forgets about focus. The unpracticed person is so busy fumbling with all the gear and swimming in all their misunderstandings about shooting that they can't do what they should be, which is looking and shooting what they need instead of bumbling around. Many bring their footage into their computer. What is wrong? They have no answer, so they look to better and more expensive gear. Trust me, I'm all for using high cost, high quality gear as it helps you get the best you can get. But if you're sitting there with your hand trembling on the buy button thinking how much trouble you'd be in adding $4,000 of camera and lenses to your cart, then stop, take a deep breath, and watch this video again. Better cameras and lenses help you shoot better footage, but only as long as the person behind the camera knows the basics of filmmaking. It's so easy now to learn the basics without spending a ton of money on gear in film school. All you have to do is learn a thing, like how to use all the settings on your camera, practice until you don't have to think about it, and do it. Then framing a shot, learn it, practice it until you don't have to think about it, and do it. Same goes for audio, sound, lighting, and most importantly, being able to tell a story using this visual medium called filmmaking. When you have all those skills, you'll never again ask what gear you should buy. You'll know what you need. In the meantime, learn and practice filmmaking with what you've already got in your hands. Then you'll be armed to the teeth and know exactly what camera would be the best for you and your needs. I hope that helps. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. You're not the star of the show of this one. That's going to be next week. In the meantime, you just need to kind of pay attention here. You got it?